That's another Jim Collins metaphor, the
It is.
flywheel. Can you explain the flywheel?
You're grinding away, grinding away, grinding away. You're a hedgehog. And then all of a sudden, you can feel the thing kick in and accelerate. And
Right.
because you've proven yourself so well at that point that
Yes.
now clients seek you out and want you for this thing.
Welcome to Season 5 of Manage Self, Lead Others with host Nina Sunday. This season, as well as workplace culture, we're going deeper into embedding innovation, AI, and invisible patterns shaping how we lead. Each episode, bold thinkers join us to explore how to lead with intention, elevate team culture, and stay future ready. The future of leadership starts with the questions we ask.
Ware Malcolm is a forward-thinking and dynamic commercial design firm headquartered in Irvine, California. It's dedicated to delivering innovative solutions for their clients, and my repeat guest today is chairman of Ware Malcolm, Lawrence Armstrong, also known as Larry, an acclaimed author, speaker and artist. With a career over 3 decades, Lawrence is at the forefront of innovative leadership, guiding Ware Malcolm to national prominence. My first episode, 171, with Larry, discussed his book Layered Leadership and how he embedded innovation to grow his company by integrating art, architecture and business principles. This episode is discussing how Larry uses metaphor to spark motivation, sharpen vision, ignite imagination and keep teams moving in the right direction. Welcome, Lawrence Armstrong. So your award-winning book, Layered Leadership, we spoke about in episode 171 on Manage Self, Lead Others. So I'm really honoured that you've found the time to talk about the metaphor thread, which I called a vein of gold that I discovered in your book. And we touched on the Leonardo da Vinci one and layers, but there's all these other layers that I thought we'd touch on. But I just want to mention congratulations on winning the Literary Global Book Award in 2 categories, which I think is probably unheard of, business management and business entrepreneurship. I went to the website and went, 2 awards? I mean, all the other people that were finalists going, oh, that's not fair.
Well, I certainly didn't expect that, but it was two big honors as far as I'm concerned.
But we're going to discover or rediscover the metaphors. We already spoke that Leonardo da Vinci is a metaphor and a role model. So now we're going to talk, just to spend a minute or so on how you used some of these metaphors. And I'm going to start with this one, I think a big picture one, that in the business, we have a fleet of ships. We are not just one big ocean liner. And that was working together, supporting each other and shifting quickly together when needed. So can you tell us how that sort of guide was a guiding force?
Yeah, great. So for example, the fleet of ships, when we were first building our company, we noticed, we study a lot of other businesses. And so what I noticed in some larger companies is the bigger you get, the less entrepreneurial and the more bureaucratic. And so, you become this giant ocean liner that's, slow to change, slow to shift to changing market conditions or realities from competition or innovations. And so we have 29 offices, and within those offices, several departments. And so I sort of envisioned this fleet of ships. So we have a lead ship, but we have all the other ships. And if we're talking to each other and supporting each other all the time and staying in communication and then staying in sort of formation, we can all go right very quickly and make a turn more quickly than an ocean liner. And then we can shift and change to market conditions or to an innovation or to a client request or, competition in a certain area or whatever. And so that was a very early metaphor I've used, and we're still use it. It's become even more important the bigger we got, so that we could continue to keep that sort of entrepreneurial, team-oriented company in mind. And so that we're also going the same direction, but we can change if we need to.
Oh yes, and we're in global change at the moment. If you're doing business in 2 years' time, the same way you're doing business today, you might be going out of business.
Exactly. And we've encountered that issue many, many times. You have to continue to evolve, and you have to be nimble and together, and you have to support each other. So, yeah, that one's worked very well for us.
Now, another one that struck my fancy, you've got in your business, you've got roadrunners and you've got coyotes. You've got business development is the roadrunner and operations is the coyote. So you've got need versus speed and aggravation versus acceleration. That's an interesting one.
Thanks. Yes. This one occurred to me because, we encountered sort of the pitfalls of, there's rules with if you know the coyote and the roadrunner, there's sort of rules. First of all, the coyote can never catch the roadrunner.
And this is going back to the old cartoon series for anyone that's too young to remember, to even know.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So if you're too young to know, look it up. But it's the roadrunner and the coyote, and the coyote can never catch the roadrunner because in business you have to have business development going on all the time.
Yes,
building new business, bringing new business in. So the coyote always has the roadrunner in his sights. So operations has to keep up and has to keep evolving. And the faster business development goes, the faster operations has to evolve to keep up with it. But you can't ever really catch up. You got to keep business development out in front. And he can't ever lose sight, because if he gets too far behind, the wheels fall off the business. Yeah, the roadrunner, as if you watch the cartoon, every once in a while will stop and sort of taunt the coyote and wait for him to catch up.
Right.
And so, even though our business development people want to go all the time, they have to also be part of the company and say, hey, if operations needs to catch up, we need to give them some space to catch up. So that's kind of the lesson there, and it's a good sort of attention and also supportive teamwork within the company. And the faster the roadrunner goes, the more opportunity the coyote has to innovate, to keep up.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a really great motivator and a great sort of team environment kind of an idea.
Now, for those of you watching the video, we might throw in a cutaway, but I'm holding up the visible light spectrum diagram that looks pretty intense. And the visible light spectrum is, from my mnemonic days, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That's the visible light spectrum. But then you've got strategic diversification, which stays within the visible light spectrum or embraces beyond it?
Yeah, it stays within it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So this was a lesson from high school physics class. Okay. So
I like it.
It inspired me. So early on, and we were attempting to figure out how to diversify our company so that we could insulate ourselves from the shocks of the economy. So we began to talk about, okay, what other type of work can we do or should we add into our company? And so, whatever, this is sort of a combination of the visible light spectrum and Jack Welch influence. So
right.
Whatever
Jack
business
Welch from GE.
GE, right.
Yeah.
So whatever business we're in, we want to dominate. We want to be the experts. We want to be excellent at it. We want to have a great market share. We want to be trusted advisors to our clients. We wanted to develop product types that were closely aligned with commercial real estate, where we were experts. So we added interior design. We added retail. We added healthcare, medical office buildings. We added high-tech and manufacturing type facilities. And in this case, our Ware Malcolm light visible spectrum, so that everything, all our diversifications were sort of within. I could see it. I can see those because it's in the visible light spectrum. We decided we're not going to go develop, we're not going to design football stadiums because those were ultraviolet. I can't see them. We're not going to
Right.
go over here and develop, we're not going to design tract homes because home design was not our expertise. That was in infrared over here, and I can't see it. So I
Right.
can't see those, and they're too far gone from our expertise. So, but within the visible light spectrum, we have lots of colors of light we can add under that sort of umbrella of commercial real estate.
Yeah.
And
Got it.
that was the idea. So our visible light spectrum has guided us strategically as we diversified and filled out our diversifications over the years. And that's worked extremely well for us.
And is that part of where the idea for layers came in?
Yeah, this is one layer. This idea is layered in and of
Yeah.
itself. And it's also, in addition to that, one of our many layers of our strategy. Mm-hmm.
All right, you've got the metaphor of the chessboard. Tell us about that. I think a lot of people will be able to relate to this one.
Yeah. So yes. So back when my original partner, Jim Williams, and I were given the opportunity to buy the company from the founders, we were given an incredible opportunity that was amazing. And so as we grew, we set out to create opportunities for other people as much as we could to develop in their careers. That's one of our basic, tenets to the building, to building our company, was to do that. So as we developed different offices in different states and places around North America, we always wanted to try to promote from within wherever possible. So in many cases, we promoted a person that we thought had a lot of potential and wanted to grow and was ambitious, and we actually moved them to a new market to start an office. I did that, Jim Williams did that, and then we decided to do that with our people as well. Mm-hmm. And so whenever one of those moves took place, that was a chessboard move.
Right. Is that like moving the knight?
Yeah. We moved a knight
forward two places and one to the right or left.
Yeah, we moved somebody into Chicago. We moved somebody into, Texas. We moved somebody into Colorado, right. And we moved somebody into Seattle. And as we got bigger, the chessboard got bigger because the different places on the board got bigger, but also we had offices to, that we could pull from as well as. So usually we would take traditionally one of our larger offices where there was, enough staff established, and we could find somebody like that was ambitious and was willing to move for an opportunity, and we would, pluck them out of that office and place them in a new market and give them that opportunity. So that was the chessboard, and it still exists in our company.
Well, of course, if you're in the habit of, as a manager, of having regular one-on-ones, not just the annual performance appraisal, regular one-on-ones, one of the questions you can ask, if you know that there's geographical opportunities, just say, would you ever be in a position to move location if you saw that it was good for your career, or some question like that, and then that can just go on the file for later. It's like, oh yeah. They're high potential for another office.
Yeah, exactly what we have done for many years. That exact conversation, because sometimes, somebody's really a great performer, but they've got reasons why, for personal reasons or otherwise, that, they really don't want to move. Either their partner has an amazing, career, or it's maybe family reasons, or
that's right,
whatever.
Children in a school that you don't want them to move from. Yeah,
they have grandparents or extended family.
That's right.
Whatever the case may be, and that's totally fine. But that's why those conversations are really important to have, and we always seek to find those people within our company so that we can help them grow their careers in a big way, and also grow.
Blowing ad budget on metrics that look great till the CFO sees them, that's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
I remember telling my boss, it'll be good for the brand, when leads were slow. Yeah, it wasn't.
Cut the bull spend. LinkedIn lets you target by company, job title, and more. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Grow the company.
Now, Larry, I believe you had a personal epiphany when you did an activity with some Tinker toys, putting spokes to create a wheel. Some wooden, the wooden hub and the wooden spokes. And the first one was a bit skew-whiff, and then you had an opportunity to revise. So tell us about that experience. It sounds like a very good team building activity.
Yeah, we did this. I dreamed this up. I'm not sure how, but in one of our leadership meetings, I had everybody put these together. And so first, I had everybody think about their strengths and weaknesses and put the wheel together. This goes back to, kind of balance in your life, and also building on your weaknesses and whole brain thinking. And so, okay, here's where I am. I've got some really strong ones, which were the longest sticks, and I've got some things I'm really should be working on, which are my shorter sticks. Right. And some that I'm okay in, those are medium sticks. And then the other one, they're all built out long sticks all together the same length. And that means that's the ultimate. That's sort of the Leonardo solution, where you've really worked on all your different skill sets and your whole brain thinking, and you've balanced yourself out. And so it goes that the idea is partially for that. That's one way to go, is this whole brain thinking. The other is sort of bringing balance to your life, and the other, so I've used it in a couple ways. Are you balanced in your life? Do you take enough time for vacation? Do you take care of yourself? Do you exercise? Do you eat right? Do you go outside and, do
you see blue sky once during the day?
Yeah, as opposed to being a workaholic or whatever. So, we've used that demonstration of that Tinker toy several times for kind of those different kinds.
But there were actually two wheels that you created. One that was reality, where some were long spokes, some were short spokes, and then the other is the goal, which is they're all sort of evenly balanced, and that's very, very nice. That's a good team building activity, which makes sense. Now, Larry, I'm going to bring up one that you actually get 4 separate metaphors from. It's Jim Collins' Good to Great. And so obviously I think you used good to great as a metaphor for, well, we're on this trajectory of continuous improvement, and we might be a good company, but we can be a great company, and you're proving it. Your book is proving it.
Yeah. So, that's, the Good to Great, that book has been around for a while.
I read it 2 decades ago. Yeah.
Right. It still holds up. I mean, the ideas in that book are still have really helped our firm a lot. And so I really appreciate it. And that's the idea, I think, is that you can't ever stop innovating, changing, making yourself better, refining your company, all of those things. The hedgehog, the whole thing. It's just... Oh,
yes, embracing your hedgehog. Tell us about that. I could sense the love. When you wrote about that, there was love for the hedgehog.
I do. We love the hedgehog. I mean, it's such a great kind of a metaphor that he puts in there, and we embrace that. Like, what are we really awesome at, and what can if we, just sort of head down, work on day in, day out is our superpower. And, for us, like I mentioned, it's knowledge of and expertise in commercial real estate. And so, you can't ever abandon that. You have to build on that, refine that over time, and make better and better at that thing, and then build off of it, innovate off of that, diversify off of that. And so, we really took that to heart, and in the, I would say, mid-90s, we had our head down, full hedgehog mode for a long time. And then, the flywheel started to kick in. And
yes, of course, that's another Jim Collins metaphor, the flywheel.
Well, Yeah, I mean, it is kind of a phenomenal thing, really, and it's true. At least was for us, still is, and it just sort of builds on itself,
So there's momentum that actually has a velocity that takes you further than when you were in hedgehog mode.
And it accelerates, and
Yeah.
it keeps accelerating. If you keep pushing, it accelerates. And for us, that happened in a variety of ways. Clients discovered us. We were in new markets. We were diversifying. We could transfer clients from office to office and, develop the same, provide the same service, which was convenient for them. We innovated, and then people latched onto our innovations and really wanted that. So from the get-go, we started reading, books like these that we're talking about and others. And we've always in our leadership meetings presented those books and encouraged our leaders to read them, and many times just provided everybody with a copy of whatever book that was.
See, it's providing everyone with a copy that it's such an inexpensive way to raise the intelligence level of your people. And not everybody's going to read it, but they might give it to someone in their family who'll tell them what's in the book. Everybody go get a copy of Land Leadership. And also, it's #1 bestseller in human resources and personnel on Amazon. So everybody go get the book, which I've got.
All formats are available of Layered Leadership. You can get an audio or an electronic book or a hard copy book. Sure.
Well, Lawrence Armstrong, Larry, you are a true inspiration of how a CEO can find the time to write a book and to get it out there. And look at that. It's winning awards, and it's inspiring people all around the world, and you're inspiring the listeners and viewers of Manage Self, Lead Others. Thank you for coming on to talk about the metaphor gold vein that's going through your books. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you so much for having me. I love being on your show for a second time. Really appreciate it.
My guest this episode was repeat guest, Lawrence Armstrong, author of the award-winning book Layered Leadership. He was originally on episode 171 on Manage Self, Lead Others, just talking about the ideas in his book and how to embed innovation in a team. My name is Nina Sunday, and this is the Manage Self, Lead Others show. You can listen on all the major podcast apps and watch the video on Spotify and YouTube. And if you are enjoying the show, you can support it by leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts is probably the largest location that people access their podcasts. And just scroll past the episodes on your phone to ratings and reviews and tap 5 stars and add a quick comment. That simple act helps other leaders discover the show. Until next time, stay curious and keep leading your team using metaphors to keep them rowing in the same direction.
Manage Self, Lead Others has launched the book, available on Amazon, paperback, Kindle and audiobook. Not transcripts, but it's Nina Sunday's reflections on the big ideas and insights from each guest, and is adventure calling. If podcasting is the new white paper, then a travel retreat is the new corporate offsite. Short retreats in exotic locations are launching this year, so head to ninasunday.com to express your interest and be part of this learning meets travel chapter for leaders, people managers and entrepreneurs. Plus, looking for a conference speaker or workshop facilitator to up-level your team in Australia or anywhere in the world? Visit brainpowertraining.com.au or ninasunday.com. Until you tune in next time,
This podcast is a part of the C-Suite Radio Network. For more top business podcasts, visit c-suiteradio.com.